and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In the last episode, we made this goods line that connects a lot of industries in this area up to this goods factory that then gets shipped up to Akron. So in this episode, what we're going to do is focus on optimizing these lines. Some of them are going to require more frequent trips, such as the iron ore and the coal mine, since the steel mill takes 2 of each. And also longer lines, such as the Huntsville sidings up here, is a longer track, so this will also need more frequent train trips. Okay, so the first way that we can start to figure out what needs more is by coming to the goods factory and looking at how much of each material we have stored. As of right now, we have less plastic stored than we do steel. So what we might want to do is see if this train is bringing a full load of plastics to the goods factory. We'll be able to see in a second that it is currently not. And this is because we are not shipping out enough refined oil. And here it seems like we don't have enough crude oil coming in. What we're going to have to do, buy a couple of new trucks. Let's go with 8 more. We'll put them on this line that takes crude oil over to the refinery. And then we will also purchase probably 4 more trucks that will then take that over to the chemicals plant. Now hopefully soon we'll start to see the effects of that, and we will have a lot more plastics waiting at this station. We also want to make sure that we are shipping out enough goods. As of right now, we have this small train because we were a little strapped for budget to get this line going. If we just edit the selected vehicle and add a couple more box cars, like 3, that should greatly increase how many goods it can take from this factory. And also back up here, we want to make sure that we have enough trucks to ship this into the city. I think we only need like 2 more, and that'll be good. That is a fairly short line. While we wait for that to start to take effect, why don't we go through some of our old lines and update some of them. Some of these are still running on very old vehicles, so updating them can be very beneficial for us, as they will start to make us much more money than they did before. A lot of our old bus lines are going to be needing replaced. We haven't really touched much of those in a while. And we have a lot of these old truck lines here that also need replaced. We just need to wait for the money to come in real quick. There we go. So we've replaced a few of those. I'm just gonna go through the rest of these and make sure there's none that are extremely old, like ones that are still running on horses, but I think we got most of those. Alright, so we don't have any routes that are still running with horses. However, we do have some that are still running on really old vehicles. We'll get to those in a while once our money starts to build back up. But for now, we can start to see what some of the effects are of what we just added earlier. So now that we have added a few cars to this train, it'll be able to take a full load of goods. There we go. So now this is no longer the bottleneck, and this goods factory is actually starting to upgrade. So it'll now start to require much more materials to work at max efficiency. And now if we come up here, we can look at this train and see if it gets a full load. Very close. So I think we're pretty much happy with that. And 69 is about as close to 72 as we can get without going over. And it looks like this is now starting to have some oil waiting. So for now, this seems to be pretty okay. Now we can see that it runs out of plastics while this train is still running. What we're gonna want to do is add a second train so that it comes in more frequently and this doesn't run out of plastics to use. So what we can do is we can manage this vehicle and we can clone it. Now we've cloned that train, we're going to give it a little bit so that we can space it out on this line. Actually, what we're going to do is, because that one already started going out, we're going to stop this train. And we're going to wait until this one gets about halfway on the line to start this one back up again. Now we can probably start this train back up again. Once this finishes auto-saving. There we go. And now this line will be pretty spread even. And looking at this, it is producing a ton of goods. And coming up to Akron, we can already see it's starting to grow pretty quick. It's also gotten to the point where it's added a third material that it needs, which is a good sign that it's growing. So let's see how much this train picked up. It's about half full. So that tells us that we probably need more trucks on this line. This road's gonna get very busy. So what we're gonna do quick is upgrade it to this road here. This allows them to go faster and have multiple lanes. Actually, this one just allows them to go faster. This one allows it to have multiple lanes. So we're going to quickly redo these roads. Alright, so we've now upgraded this road. So these trucks can move faster and they can pass each other if they need to. And that should help just clear up some congestion that'll happen on this road. Well, let's add even more vehicles onto these lines, but they can start working at max efficiency and shipping out tons of goods over to here. And it looks like this chemical plant has also upgraded. That's also good news. Now we're just gonna have to wait for all these trucks to space out. They all got messed up as we were replacing the roads. Now, while we wait for that, let's add another train to our passenger network here. As you can see, we have over 150 people waiting in Akron, a ton of people waiting in Garden Grove, and same in Santa Clara. Cedar Rapids have a few, but that's just because everyone just got picked up by the train that was there. We can see this train is running at max efficiency. All we need to do is just loan the vehicle once we have enough money. It should be any second now. There we go. And that'll start to run out on its own. These are spaced out pretty well. They won't be really causing any hiccups when it comes to this passenger network. So let's take a look at how good this line actually is. You can see in the Finances tab, this is pretty much doubling its expenses every period. So running multiple of these trains will definitely do us good with money. Now checking in on our other passenger lines that we have across the map. This one seems to be running pretty well. Although there's a ton of people waiting here at Lexington. So what that tells me is we probably need to add a few more vehicles or just replace these vehicles altogether. So we'll select all these and we'll replace them with these new buses, which they definitely needed, because those are running on very old buses. Just to help ease that traffic out, we'll add 2 more onto the passenger line in here. And then over here in Bridgeport, we have a similar situation where we have a ton of people waiting here. These are running on somewhat newer buses. So I think this just needs to have more updated buses and maybe add 1 or 2 more. We can go to this road depot here and add 2 more to the Bridgeport passenger network. And then all these trains over here across the river are doing good. They're still making us a profit. So let's come back and take a look at the chemical plant. It's starting to produce more. If we take a look at this train, it's still only running a little above half full. So more trucks might be needed. If we come here, we can take a look at what exactly it needs more of. And it appears like it could use some more trucks running on the crude oil line. Yet again, we'll add a couple more onto there. Now our production at the chemical plant is picking up. This train is gonna pick up almost a full load of plastics, as we'll see here in a second. Let's see how much it gets. Yeah, almost a full load, so we're definitely doing better. So now when we come up here, we might want to start taking a look at our steel line, as that number has dropped from around 300 stored down to about 50. So let's come over here and take a look at the steel mill. And here, the limiting factor definitely seems to be the iron ore. And if we come, take a look at how much steel is waiting, we're hardly even getting a full train's worth of steel. What we're gonna want to do is probably duplicate this train here. It is making us a pretty good profit, so it'll definitely be worth it to have another one of these. Now all we have to do is just wait and then clone it, and then we'll have another train come out here, and that'll be on its way. Alright, so we just cloned that train. Here it comes out of the depot. Looks pretty nice. Now hopefully our steel production will start to pick up. We take a look at this iron train here. This one's doing well, making us a profit. I have no worries about that train. Now checking back up on this goods line, it looks like we might still need an extra truck or two in Akron to empty out this station before the next train arrives. Let's just quickly see if these trucks can get all of these out before the next train comes. We might actually be okay because the train's still all the way down here and it's not a full load, but just to keep an eye on it. The town is growing quite quickly. You can see we're supplying almost the entire amount of goods that it needs. So now, when we come down here and take a look at the steel mill, our iron is definitely starting to keep up more. You can see this production has gone up compared to what it was before. And I believe this steel train is now going to start making money as it's sending full loads of steel now, instead of before only about 1 or 2 full cars worth. And I think what we're going to do to make this run a little smoother is we're going to take a track that comes off of here and connects up to the station right here. Now we'll see what happens. I'm not too sure if this is going to work the way I think it will. if we look at this steel line, or actually, if we move this to train terminal 3, come in here and take a look at the line. So it looks like it's pathed correctly. I'm not sure if this intersection is going to cause anything weird when it comes to the signals with the trains. Actually, what we might do is delete that. And then add another track that comes out here. And then connect them up together there. Now we can throw signals like this. I'm not sure if that's going to cause any issues or if this is maybe just overkill. But we'll see what happens. I think we'll be okay. If we get any weird jam or collision, then I'm sure we'll find out about it. We might actually get the chance to see what happens with these two trains here. Now, let's see what happens here. I'm pretty sure everything will be okay. This will go into the correct station, and then that one will come through without stopping. Okay, I think we're good. That might have just been a bit overkill. We can just delete that track. Now looking at this train, it is carrying a good bit of iron. And so now, steel. So now our bottleneck is steel in this goods factory. However, I think we're producing enough for now. Everything seems to be running fine. This train's shipping almost a full load of goods every time. And this town can't really take much more. So I believe we're at a pretty good input. Everything seems to be pretty closely balanced. So we shouldn't really be running into many issues with that anymore. So that'll pretty much be it for this episode. We've optimized this whole section here. We've added another passenger train here and optimized some of these passenger networks. And you can already see just how much money this little section is making us, as we're almost up to $40 million over the course of this episode. And that includes purchasing all the trains and repaying the loan that we had to take out to finish this in the last episode. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.